Hello again guys, this is a video just on the other two tarantulas. And on the right here you have a curly haired tarantula, which is a lovely looking species. I don't know if it actually looks like it's got blue legs, but that's just a flash of the camera. It does eat well. It's actually got a calci worm in its mouth at the minute, so these tarantulas always are good eaters, and they're good for the beginners as well. I actually held it there a couple of days ago, and it actually did do a lot of flicking hairs. So it did. You see there, at the abdomen, the long hairs, urticating hairs. And what it does is, these tarantulas don't bite, say, as much as the old world tease. So what they do is they use their back legs and they rub their abdomen, and then if they get onto your skin or in your skin or in your eyes, they can be really sore. I've never had a bad experience with the hairs. Say, I had it on my hand there yesterday and it was rubbing away. I don't know if any of them got on my hand, but I didn't feel nothing, so I wasn't really bothered. It's a nice spider. It's a wee bit quick. It is very quick, but not really fussed. Now this one is my Mexican red rump. I reared this up from only a leg span of 1 centimetre. It's fully grown. I've had it for 5 years now, and so I recently just changed these two tanks because I had a load of cork bark left over from the order of the other tarantulas in the spider shop. So, and the moss as well. So I just gave it both of them new soil. Made a hide out there from 2 bits of bark and bit of bark air, and then the moss makes it a brilliant addition to any tank for humidity. Instead of having to soak the substrate, which can be a bad thing because you end up, if you haven't got enough ventilation in the tank, it goes mouldy. But with the moss, soak that, and then it'll just dry out from the heat. Then you get your humidity. It'll not go mouldy. And all you do again then is just either spray it or just pour water over it. So it's very handy to have in your tank. So it is. Plus, whenever I put the moss in for the curly haired tarantula, it actually went over, and it was sucking the water from the moss. So majority of the time you don't actually see tarantulas using their water bowl to drink. So that there's just another addition for humidity. Plus, if your spider does need a drink, it will go over and it will get the water from the moss. The lovely looking spider. This is the biggest one I've had. I'm glad that I've had it for so long and been able to rear it up from just 1 centimetre, which is always good. That's why I always buy spiderlings. Number one, because they're a lot cheaper, and you just feel better for it whenever they do get to this size. You know that you've looked after them well. It just gives you a lot more experience. You know, if you just keep buying adult tarantulas all the time, you're not going to get much experience. You're not going to see many molts or different things like that. And you see it from when they are just little, taking wee micro crickets and stuff, and then as you get older, like I could put a full adult cockroach into that, and that wouldn't have a problem. You can see this one wee one's on the move. It's very active. This one isn't. This one, just sort of sits about. It doesn't really do much. But the curly haired tarantula, they are always very active, even through the day. I'll actually show you just, if you just watch the back legs and see if it does try and flick them when I touch it. No, I'll leave that alone. Don't like annoying them too much. so I don't just let them get on with what they're doing. And I'll show you then. This is the other collection. Actually got a couple feeding. If you can't see the calcium worm in its mouth, that's my Avic purple. It's been doing well. I think it's the best two that I have. It's the Avic Versicolor, which hasn't ate since I got it 4 days ago, so I'm just going to leave it about a week. See what happens. These are my two pink toes, which I have in the same tank, as you can see. I think the colours of them when they are spiderlings are fantastic. So they are. As you can maybe see, the webbing that they've done, and it's like a wee hammock. And what they're doing is that's where they spend most of their time, just on top. It seems to be just one of them. It's continually on that, and then the other one will just sit on the cork bark. I don't know if you can see any. There's two trances that I haven't seen since I put them in, so I don't know whether they're molting or anything, but as I said in my previous video with them Bal Furies, not to annoy them, don't be tipping rocks over trying to find them, or just annoying the tank, because you don't actually understand how bad it is to annoy them when they're in their own tanks. You just let them get on with it. I don't know if you can see the wee one there down at the bottom. That's one of my flame rump tree spiders, which it's very active, and it has been feeding. I think it's had 2 calcium worms since 4 days ago. So you wouldn't see it in the video, but the alderman has got, I'd say, at least twice the size. So it's always a good sign when they're feeding well. It means that they're happy in their habitat. I do have a black and white bird eater in here, but just can't see it. I haven't seen it in 4 days since I put it in. This one here, you can see that one, just at the bottom. That's my straight horn baboon. I'll actually lift the lid off for you here so you can see. Sorry about the camera quality. See it just there at the bottom of the screen. Now that's actually eating a calcium worm at the minute. I don't want to take actual feeding videos because I think the chances are too small to make a good video. I'll just wait till they're a wee bit bigger and actually show you them actually catching their prey. But this one hasn't had a problem with the calcium worms. I think that's had 3 now since I got it 4 days ago. And straight away, once you put the calcium worm into it, it's got it straight away. The thing's an eating machine, which is good. So that'll be brilliant when it gets bigger. I've actually spotted a tarantula I haven't seen. What I've done there with all the lids is you got the meshes of Spider Shop, and I cut the tops of the lid off. I actually think it's a really good idea. Instead of piercing holes, just cut the lid off and then cut the mesh to size, flipped it over and then just pushed it up into the grooves, into the lid. And then because you've pushed it up right out the top, you're still able to screw the lid back on, so you have no worries about the escaping. So you can see down the bottom left, I think that's the one that I just showed you, but I just spotted the other one, which is good. You can see it just where my finger is there now. as you're saying, because they're spiderlings, like you're not really going to make too many good videos because they're so small. But what I can see anyway, it does have a calcium worm, so that's good. That means that one's feeding, that one's alive. So at the minute, I've only one that I haven't seen, which isn't too bad. But let's buy my time. I'll give it a couple, maybe give it an hour a week, and then if I haven't seen it, then maybe I'll start digging about the enclosure to try and see if it's alright, because with spiderlings, they can't die very easily. But that's just the stuff you go through, you know, that's why you get them. You want to rear them up, get them to fully grown size, so it's just the things that you have to go through. It's just hope for the best at these stages, until you can get them at, say, from maybe 5 centimeters onwards. Like, you're sort of, that's you dead on, as long as you do look after them well. But it's always touch and go when you get them that small. But as long as you feed them well, and you have your temperature and your humidity, and there shouldn't be any problem. So that's another video done then. So I'll see you soon.